Let go. No, let go.
It's so great to talk to you. It's such an honor to talk to you, and it's a real thrill because Hacks is my favorite show. So
okay, honored to talk to you too then. Okay. Thank you.
Before we get into Hacks, I just want to say, Megan, I just want to congratulate you on Cora Bora. I really love that movie. And you're such a dynamic performer, and I was so glad you got a whole movie to show that off. So,
that's sweet. Thank you. That means a lot to me.
I've seen 6 episodes of Hacks. I devoured them. Season 4, obviously. And it's just such a gift. It really impressed me just how the stakes keep getting raised. The show keeps getting better somehow. Paul, a creator question for you. Was there a lot of talk, I'm sure, with Jen and Lucia about how long do we keep apart Deborah and Ava, until end of episode 6 is really when they kind of have that heartfelt moment. I was really impressed with how long you kept them kind of at odds with each other. Was that a big topic of discussion going into the season?
Oh yeah. I mean, we always, because we always want to deliver on the grist between them, because that is part of the magic, not only between the characters and where they change, the ways in which they change is from butting heads and cracking each other open. But, we also, we knew it would be really fun to see them, especially with Ava having a slightly new dynamic. She claps back in a way that's really fun to write and is really funny. And it's, as much as it can be vicious, it is their love language too. It is. So we did talk a lot about it, but we did also want to make sure we were doing something different than we've done in the past, because they've had, moments like in season 2, where after Deborah finds out about the email, they kind of make up shortly thereafter. And in this one, we thought that the mounting pressure of this late night show might keep them at odds for a little bit longer. But again, we always calibrate like how much we want to do that, because at the end of the day, I think people do want to see them together, even though, part of the DNA of the show is the ways in which they're different.
Yes, absolutely. And going off what you said, they hurl some pretty gnarly insults at each other and do some crazy stuff. Was there ever a moment in the writer's room you were like, are we going too far? Should we is this the point of no return sort of thing?
No. In fact, there was a moment where we were like, I think we need to look back at the first 5 episodes and put some more zingers in. Like we need to have some more barbs, because the truth is that they would, especially Deborah, who's someone who's wants to be in control, to have something taken away from her, I mean, she would be fit to be tied. So I think it was something that we never thought it was too far.
Very cool. I love that. That's great. One of my favorite parts of the season was seeing Julianne Nicholson playing the TikTok dancer. I was so delighted to see her being cast in such a goofy part. Megan, what was it like working with her? I loved finding out that Kayla is friends with Demi Moore's daughter. That cracked me up. What was it like having scenes with her? It was such a blast to watch.
She is such a genius actor and so funny. I feel like it's just so easy to hang out with her, but also to watch her deliver different emotions at the drop of a hat. I mean, I feel like she's gotten the note of oh, can you do that a little more grounded? And then she would be in full tears, fully taking you to a different place. I mean, she's incredible to watch, so fun to be around. And she's so good at comedy. I mean, I know she's done more dramatic stuff, but it's just incredible that she can do both with such ease. I just love her. And I'm a huge fan, so it was really great to have her. The dance is just, I mean, I can't even watch it without laughing.
What Paul, was she like, were you surprised to have her enter the picture with this zany character? I wasn't expecting to see her in this role, and it was really wonderful. So how did that casting come about? And you haven't even seen where it goes. It goes to an absolutely insane place. What you've seen is at the tip of the iceberg, and it goes to such a crazy place. And it is so comedic that we were like,
I think the way that this will feel the funniest is if it is done by someone who is an incredible dramatic actress. If you have someone who can deliver on it and make it grounded and make these absolutely outlandish situations feel real and well observed, it will be so much funnier. So we offered it to her. There was nobody else in the picture. It was just, we thought that is a person who would be perfect for this. And she's like, I'm not a dancer, but I am so used to like doing such tragedy in a lot of the stuff that I've done lately. She was like, I'm excited to do something really different. And I can't wait for people to see it because like Meg said, she is like, it is crazy where she can go. And it gets really surprising.
That's
her commitment. Like, since she's such an amazing dramatic actor, she's so quick to go anywhere. And so to commit to something like being a dance TikTok mom and to see someone commit like in such a grounded way is what makes it so funny. And I'll say that I'm so impressed by the casting because I just obviously like I feel like watching her, she's capable of anything, but she's even funnier than you could imagine.
Yeah, when she wanted to frame the menu, I was like, that is such a wacky thing to say. And it was a very unconventional Mayor of Easttown reunion. So that was really cool. Another wonderful character, Meg, that you have a lot of interaction with is Robby Hoffman's character. There's so much I want to know about just filming those scenes. One, probably the most important to me is how did you land on Speed being the movie that they get obsessed with? Like that was such a specific thing. It really cracked me up.
So honestly, I think it came from Sandra Bullock first, that we are honestly such fans of hers that we were like, I don't know exactly how we got to Speed, but I know that it was first like, you should sign Sandra Bullock. And Jimmy's like, well, I think she's doing pretty good. I think she's got great representation. So we knew we wanted that. So it really came from that. But yeah, Robby is so funny. And the dynamic of this new character with Jimmy and Kayla, like what a wild and weird whack pack, I'm going to call it.
That's great.
They are so fun. We had a great time, and Robby makes me laugh so much.
Robby's so funny and a different energy than Kayla and Jimmy have. Like to add a third person in the mix, you have to have someone really funny that also brings a different energy. So I felt like it was such a perfect writing when we read about. I was very excited that Kayla gets an assistant. I thought it was just such a funny, genius storyline. And then when we read it, and I remember Lucia being like, oh, where you're thinking Robby, I'm like, oh my God, it has to be Robby. Yeah, it was so good.
Paul, you directed episode 6. It was so beautiful. And there's so many different little pieces that I feel like came together so well, especially when Deborah did the U-turn. I really like that, just like Ava did. Go to the hospital.
Good eye.
I'm so into the show. I love it.
Thank you.
I'm just such a compliment. But what was it like crafting that conversation on the beach with Ava and Deborah? Was it different on the page? Like, did it completely change once you got behind the camera?
We're always writing. So we're writing, when it comes to the script or when we're on set, we're doing little rewrites and changing little things, or in the edit, when we lift a line or put something in, so the writing is a part of the process at every stage, but there wasn't a ton changed on the day. What was really difficult was that setting. We had many different versions of what that would be, because we really, we had to get Ava to a place where she would be convinced to come back. And obviously this has been a pattern that's happened to her before. She recognizes the toxicity of the relationship. She recognizes that Deborah has continued to let her down. So having Deborah literally run into the freezing cold ocean and do this act of service was actually something that showcased to Ava how much she really does care. Because in the end of the day, like, words are, you can say something, it's like, well, show, don't tell. And Deborah literally wrecks her second favorite fur and enters the freezing cold ocean to try and save her. So that took a long time to figure out. There were a lot of different versions of that we conceptualized and toyed with. And so that scene was the thing that was probably written and rewritten the most in the whole season.
Wow.
So when we got there, we didn't change it a lot because we had done a lot of drafts, you know?
Yeah, well, it stuck the landing. It was so beautiful. And I was telling Lucia and Jen that the end credit songs of every episode, if I'm not teared up by a point in the episode, I'm teared up by the end of the end credits. Like the songs are just so beautiful. And you just knock it out of the park with every episode. And now I'm really excited to see Julianne Nicholson.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So wild. Yeah. Well, I have to wrap, but you two are lovely and wonderful. And I'm so happy about the season, all the awards you're getting, the praise, well deserved. And just thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.